Okay, I'm going to take you through some of the basic features of the Inphase IPS920SD. When you receive your box, inside the box, take out your unit. You'll have your instruction manual, very important. You'll also have your power loom. Now, notice that this does have the RCA cables on the back. Some units, these will already be on the back of the unit, but on this one, there's extra ones on the power loom as well. Take the unit out of the box, the cage will be already around the unit. You'll need to take this off, ready to install it. You have the face of the unit, which is popped down by pressing that button just there. You see these will go in through there. On the rear of the unit, you have the aerial input, that's for the radio. You also have the power loom hole, that's what the power loom will go into. You also have on this particular unit a sub pre-out, which I'll go into more detail later, and also an auxiliary in. So, you've received your unit. You'll notice in the top you have some travel screws. Now these two screws will need to be removed before you install the unit, because these hold the CD mechanism inside steady while it's in transport. If you try to put a CD into the unit with these in, the CD won't go in. So remove those screws. They should come out quite easily. Plug your power loom into the rear of the unit, like so. You'll also notice that you have a fuse for the unit under there. If you do have problems when installing the unit with lack of power, this should be the first fuse that goes on the unit as it's first in line to the power. Okay, the unit itself is a 4x60 watt, so it's a high power unit. You will struggle to find as many features packed onto a unit up to about £150, so this one really is good value for money. As I said before, you've got the pre-outs on the rear of the unit. With this particular unit you get three. You get sub, which is for your subwoofer amplifier. You get rear, which is for a rear amplifier, and you get front, which is for a front amplifier. So you can run up to 3 amplifiers and control them independently with the head unit. You'll notice with the sub, you will only have one pre-out. Now some head units will have 2, this only has 1. Sub as a frequency only runs in mono, so you actually only need 1 pre-out for this, so don't get confused. When you are installing your bass amplifier, you will need to go into the menu settings on the head unit and turn the subwoofer pre-out to on. This will then let you control the bass amplifier. You'll be able to turn it up and down, and also control the frequency of what you're listening to. Front and rear pre-outs, as I said. Also on the back of the unit you have an auxiliary input. Now to be able to use this, you'll need to get hold of a RCA to headphone jack lead, which will basically be 2 males into there, which will leave you then a headphone jack which will go into the headphone socket of any portable device with a headphone socket on it. On the power loom you have the red and yellow cables. Again, once you've installed the unit, if you find that it's not holding preset information, i.e. the radio stations or your subwoofer levels, these will need to be changed over, most common in Vauxhalls or Golfs. The unit itself, most of the features are accessed via the volume control. Push it in to go into the menu and then scroll through it left and right. You have the button there that brings the face down. On the side you've got your USB input and also the SD card. Now we have tested this with an SD card up to 4,000 tracks on there. Your tracks will need to be in MP3 format. So, as ever, with all our products, please check the instruction manual and have a good read through when you are downloading onto your USB stick or your SD card. When you are putting information onto your USB or your SD card, make sure that the folders are in no more than your average album length, 10, 12 tracks at the most. This should help you sort through them quickly. USB stick will only go in one way. Remove the cover from the front, USB into the front. Again with your SD card, picture to the outside and SD card in, like so. Obviously it can't play both formats at the same time, it can't play radio and SD at the same time. You select all of that through your source button, which is on here.